Welcome to this explainer. Okay, we've got a lot to get into today. We are breaking down a highly anticipated World Cup Group K opening match that, honestly, left fans around the globe completely stunned. We're looking at this super dramatic clash between football heavyweights Portugal and the massive underdogs DR Congo. Now, if you're a Portugal fan, this was it. This was the moment you'd been waiting 4 incredibly long years for, and the hype was just absolutely off the charts. But the reality out there on the pitch? Yeah, it painted a very, very different picture. Because instead of this dominant blowout showcase that a lot of folks expected, Portugal actually found themselves locked in a gritty 1-1 draw, really struggling to find any sort of crucial momentum. So, how exactly did a match with such clear favorites end in a historic deadlock? Well, let's break down the data, the timelines, and those pivotal moments that completely define this unforgettable opener. Right off the bat, before a single goal was even scored, history was made literally the second the whistle blew. 41 and 132. Think about those numbers for a second. That is 41 years and 132 days old, and that is the exact age of Cristiano Ronaldo as he stepped onto the pitch for this match. By simply starting this game, Ronaldo officially became the oldest outfield player to ever start a World Cup match. It's a completely staggering statistic, right? It really highlights his incredible longevity and just intense dedication to the sport. It definitely set the stage for what fans were hoping would be a vintage performance from the absolute legend. Section 1, a record-breaking start. Let's look a little closer at these historic milestones. So despite that record-breaking start, Ronaldo didn't just kick off the match and then sub out. No, he played the entire 90 minutes. He was out there grinding it out for the full duration of the game. However, our data notes a pretty stark contrast between his physical presence on the field and his emotional state by the end of it all. Despite playing the full 90, Ronaldo appeared visibly disappointed as the match wrapped up. The effort was undeniably there, you could see it, but the execution and the final result clearly just didn't align with these super high standards of this Portuguese squad. Section 2, a tale of two goals. Let's dive straight into the first half action. Okay, so Portugal's start was absolutely explosive. I mean, right out of the gate, in the very 6th minute of the match, midfielder João found the back of the net, putting Portugal right in the lead. If you were pulling for Portugal, this was exactly the script you wanted to see play out. Early dominance, setting the tone. But fast forward to the dying seconds of the first half. We are talking the 45 plus 5th minute of stoppage time here. DR Congo, a team that absolutely refused to just roll over and surrender to the heavily favored Portuguese side, struck back and scored the equalizer. It was just a massive momentum shift right before the halftime whistle blew. And you know, that stoppage time equalizer wasn't just a goal. It was quite literally a generational milestone. First of all, DR Congo was playing in the World Cup after a massive 52-year absence, over half a century. So when they scored that goal in the stoppage time of the first half, it was actually DR Congo's first ever World Cup goal in their entire history. Ever. And because they managed to hold on to that gritty 1-1 draw, they also secured their first ever World Cup point. So what Portugal viewed as a totally frustrating defensive lapse was for DR Congo one of the greatest sporting achievements in their entire nation's history. Just incredible stuff. Section 3, missed chances and the draw. Let's see how the rest of this played out. Now, the opportunities were certainly there for Portugal to break the deadlock in the second half. In the 68th minute, Ronaldo had a genuinely great chance to score, but the shot just barely missed the target. Then, practically a blink later, just 5 minutes after that, in the 73rd minute, another opportunity presented itself, and again, the shot went off target. So that's two absolutely crucial missed opportunities by their star player in the span of just 5 minutes. Ultimately, these misses really sealed the fate of the game, cementing that deeply frustrating 1-1 draw for a Portuguese side that just could not capitalize when it mattered the most. So, when that final whistle finally blew, man, we saw two totally different emotional realities out there. For Portugal, they were just burdened by disappointment, obviously haunted by those missed chances, and suffering from a total lack of momentum moving forward in Group K. But on the flip side, for DR Congo, they were celebrating a historic first goal, proudly holding on to their first ever World Cup point, and just riding the absolute high of an incredibly resilient comeback against a giant of the football world. It really is the perfect picture of what makes the World Cup so entirely unpredictable and fascinating to watch. All of this brings us to the ultimate question. After such a rocky start, can Portugal actually build the momentum they so desperately need to survive Group K? And despite his age and those tough missed chances, is Cristiano Ronaldo going to bounce back to create more magic and break even more records in what could very well be his final World Cup? I really want to know what you guys think. Based on the data and the history we've unpacked today, head down to the comments and drop your predictions. Is Portugal in serious trouble right now? Or is this just a minor speed bump on their way to the knockout stages? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep seeking out the facts, and I will see you on the next one.